Hey everybody, this is my cat. That's my cat, Chocolate Milk. Isn't she cool? I think so. So we went to the vet recently and found out that Chocolate Milk is going to have some pretty serious dental surgery, and it's also pretty costly. Don't exactly have a whole lot of money lying around these days, so I've made a GoFundMe for it. If anybody's able to donate or share, please do your thing. Go to my profile on here. There's a link to the GoFundMe. Anything is really appreciated. Thanks. Hey everybody, this is my cat. That's my cat, Chocolate Milk. Isn't she cool? I think so. So we went to the vet recently and found out that Chocolate Milk is going to have some pretty serious dental surgery, and it's also pretty costly. Don't exactly have a whole lot of money lying around these days, so I've made a GoFundMe for it. If anybody's able to donate or share, please do your thing. Go to my profile on here. There's a link to the GoFundMe. Anything is really appreciated. Thanks.
On deck, you scabrous dogs! Hands to braces! Let go and hold to run free! Now, bring me that horizon. And really bad eggs. Drink up, me hearty yo-ho.
Whoa, what was that? We had technical difficulties to start, and then I got hacked by the Bard himself, Yazek. I don't know what's going on tonight, guys. Welcome into the 16th episode of Rogue Bard Advice, where I, your host, the Pirate Archaeologist, Chris, take the questions that you guys send to me in email, right there, roguebardadvice@gmail.com, and answer them. We are a TTRPG, nerdcast, sports and everything podcast. We take all questions, we give advice, we even give you a little bit of education, because I am an archaeologist, and I am a pirate archaeologist. So, first, we'd like to welcome everybody to the chat, or everybody in the chat. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the stream. All of our regulars, Kirk, Katz, Buffy, Yokai, our friend of the neighborhood, Bard, Yazek is in the house tonight, or at least for a little bit. Yes, I did want to reach out and post that video of Chocolate Milk. Chocolate Milk looks like a fun cat. Apparently Chocolate Milk needs dental surgery. So, we always love the fur animals. We always love the fur babies. So, yeah, if you can help, the link for the GoFundMe that Yazek has made is in the description for this podcast. Yeah. So, what's it? Who's in the chat? Chocolate seems to have a lot of orange cat energy. Hope things work out. Yeah, we do. We really do hope things work out for Chocolate Milk. He seems, or she seems like she is a valued member and a loved member of Yazek's family. So, and the Mrs. Rogue is in the house. Hi, dear. Hi, my wench. That is my wench. If y'all don't know, I was going to do this at the end of the chat, but let's get it out of the way. My wifey wench celebrated her 51st birthday on the 30th of the month. So happy birthday to my wifey wench. So, anyhow, yes, howdy Rogue Bardadians. Shall we get into Archaeology Corner and our final little bit of steam engine work. So, without further ado, Amanda, this is all for you. This is what you wanted. So, without further ado, we're going to go to here. Our industrial archaeology, the steam engine part 4, our final part. And it goes here. The steam engines and their steam locomotives. Now that's a little, let me get these off here because I want to talk about each one of these individually. Let's go. The first one we've got 1804. After James Watt had created his steam engine from the last episode, the next iteration of the steam engine was this one. It's kind of starting to look like a locomotive, right? Well, that is the Peñaderin, and it was Richard Trevithick's clunky Trailblazer. He weighed in at nearly 5 tons, water included, and sported an 8.5-inch diameter cylinder. It's a huge piston. Clocking in at about 40 strokes a minute, it pushed its way along the tram road at a roughly 4 mile an hour, a pace that still made a mighty impression in its day. Now, the tram road was leading to a mine in somewhere in England. The next engine on our list, the next steam engine on our list, is one here in America, and it was made in 1927. And America's we're a simple lot. We took James Watt's engine, put it on here, and named it Tom Thumb. Now, Tom Thumb was invented by Peter Cooper. It was small. It was only 13 foot long and about 13 feet tall. And it was 12 feet 9 inches tall. Had 1.5 horsepower. And it had 5-inch by 27-inch cylinders. So it had a small diameter cylinder, but it was tall. And it was built to coax the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, otherwise known as the B&O, into steam-powered future. Even if a mechanical blunder once let a horse win a race for a brief moment. Yeah, a horse beat this. Our next one came around in 1829. Now, this engine decided it was going to do something different. Instead of using water to create its steam, it used coal. Now, this is named the Rocket. It's actually named Stephenson's Rocket, 1829. It weighed about 4.3 tons, 9,500 pounds. It was still less weight than the first one, the Peñaderin. But it could achieve speeds of 30 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. But it ran on coal. It used coal to heat up and make the steam. So this was the first coal steam engine. Then in 1831, New York's Mohawk and Hudson Railroads gave us this proud engine. This is called the DeWitt Clinton locomotive. Measuring 12 feet 10 inches long and about 12 feet tall. It's still smaller than Tom Thumb, but it only weighed 6,758 pounds. This was the engine that it was named after DeWitt Clinton, who oversaw the building of what canal, dear? Mrs. Pirate, what canal was DeWitt Clinton involved in creating? Those of you from New York, DeWitt Clinton was involved in creating the Erie Canal. And then finally, nearly 60 years after his death, James Watt's engine, or the engine that shared James Watt's name, was created. This was a portable steam engine. Didn't run on tracks, had wheels, but it was used to provide power, 5 horsepower actually, directly to camp work sites, making it pivotal for stationary mills, mobile mini power plants, stuff like that. It only weighed between 500 and 1,000 pounds. So after this engine, everything switched over to coal. Very few things used water to create the steam. Everything switched over to coal. They found that coal was faster. The engines, the locomotives could move faster with coal. They could pull more, and they were just better. Not better for the air, not better for the environment, but they were just better. So, from steam engine, we go to coal. It's still a steam engine because it still is heating up a boiler and creating the steam, but it's the black smoke steam. So, but yeah, let's see what's going on in chat. B&O, like in Monopoly. Yes, the B&O Railroad is actually the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. All four, look. So, here's the game Monopoly was actually created by a woman before Hasbro stole it out from under her. Everything in the game Monopoly is actually in and around the United States. The Pennsylvania Railroad, the B&O Railroad, Boardwalk, Park Place. Those are places in New York. Yeah, so she created this game to have fun during the Depression era. And we can discuss more on that maybe next episode. Maybe somebody wants me to delve into the game Monopoly. But yeah, everything that happens in history finds its way somewhere else. Is that a portable steam engine in your pocket, or are you just being crushed under a 5,000-pound steam engine? I'm being crushed by a 5,000-pound steam engine. Steam comes from boiling water, pirate. Yeah, I know. Fire from wood and coal and oil. But they still called it a steam engine because they used coal to create the fire to... Yeah. The board games / pirate archaeologist interface. Yeah, okay. We could do something there. Ooh, multiple picture management. Fancy. Yes. Yes, I am slowly but surely figuring this thing out. It's only taken me 16 episodes. I'm not an engineer. I'm a mechanic. Okay? Confused by my understanding of engineering. I'm an aircraft structural mechanic by trade. I'm an archaeologist by schooling. And I'm a mechanic. We hate engineers. Anyway, moving on, we have actually quite a few great questions tonight. And a bonus question, because I was going to wait till 2 weeks from now to answer this question, because reminding everybody, we will not be here next week because I will not have power where I'm going to be, and I don't have a laptop. So... not saying that this is prime for laptop viewing, or laptop creation. No, they're not. I'm sorry, I made it sound like they're boiling coal. Steam Calliope engines? I don't know about the Steam Calliope engine. I will have to look that up. University of Maryland steam plant has been converted to use natural gas turbine. Turbines turn dynamo for electric, and exhaust heats the campus boilers, so natural gas equals steam. Yes, look. It's steam powered. That's something that Bones would say, dear. I'm not a doctor. I'm an archaeologist. No power, just pedal harder, pirate. Okay. Well, let's get on with our first question, because our first question comes from our good friend Kirk. And yes, This was a question he sent in early. With things arriving out of time sequence, I ask this. Have you ever found something at a dig that was or seemed out of place, time-wise? Like A, wristwatch on a mummy? A, T-Rex skull in a North American Viking encampment? Or a Betamax tape in a house that wasn't even built when the Betamax format was still in use? Oh, Kirk. Great question. But unfortunately, the answer to all three of those questions is no. And mainly because I have only been at one dig site, and that was my field school in Italy. Although we did find, and I can't give it to you currently because I don't have it on the computer or up. I just thought about it today or just now. I showed you guys the amphora that we saw, the head and neck, or the head, neck, and shoulders and handles of the amphora a couple episodes back. That same dig, we found a 6-sided die with intricate carvings on all 6 sides. So we know the ancient Romans played dice games, but being out of place for that era, not so much, because they have other examples of dice in other museums in and around Livorno province in Italy, up in Pisa, up in Vada, in Rosignano Solvay, Rosignano Martimo. They find these things, and they're all dated to about 2nd to 7th century. So, yeah. To answer your question, no, I haven't found anything that seemed out of place or out of time. Not saying that there hasn't been things that may have looked out of place or out of time. Like, there have been underwater archaeologists who have found... Let me see if I can... I can do this. Let's see. The Antikythera mechanism. And I will give an image right here. Actually, you know what? I could just do this. Yes, my tabs are open. But this right here, or this right here, the Antikythera mechanism, 2nd century BC, discovered in 1901 in Greece. It's basically a computer. It's a mechanical computer. It's a oldest known example of an analog computer. So, but with that being said, I'm on the wrong screen. That seems like it should be out of place for the 2nd century BC, but, or 2nd century, yeah, 2nd century BC. But there was plenty of things being invented and being made around those times. Ancient Roman D&D, yeah, maybe. But we haven't, well, actually... Okay. You want to go ancient Roman D&D? There was recently so yeah, I'm gonna show that again. So here, you want to talk about ancient D&D? Discoveries of ancient polyhedral dice in various regions, including Egypt and Germany. 20-sided dice. The Roman dodecahedron, right here. I mean, it was found in 1739, but yeah, ancient Romans, ancient Greeks or Grecians. Yeah, they were rolling for initiative before rolling for initiative was a thing, guys. Let me see the chat. There's stuff going on in the chat. Wasn't there some really old city, older than any known cities found underwater recently? Forgot where though. Sorry, I wish I could. I haven't seen that. That D20 must have rolled really low for them to have been buried for thousands of years. You know, I think. Amanda, I have my tabs being open have purposes, so yeah. I have like 30 tabs open on my phone. Don't even get me started on my phone. But yeah, I mean, if they're rolling for initiative and they're all getting ones and they're getting, then yeah, probably bury the dice with them, you know? So, but I hope that answers that question, Kirk. There's an answer there. The answer is no. Found nothing that has been supposedly out of time. So, who knows? Maybe one day we'll find something. Maybe one day the latest of the Indiana Jones movies, where he gives the watch to the ancient guy, and then the ancient guy dies, and they find the watch on him in the future, and yeah, maybe something like that will happen. But who knows? Sad for answer, hopes for time travel, evident lives on. Well, you know, nobody's ever tried slingshotting around the sun in the opposite direction. So I'm still waiting for Superman to come from Krypton and turn the Earth around in the opposite direction. But who knows? All right. Well, thank you for the question, Kirk. Stay tuned for the rest of the episode. You don't want to miss it. Our next question comes from our good friend River, who I haven't seen in the chat. He may be taking the night off. He may be playing the new remastered Elder Scrolls game. So our River question: our current party has ignored the signs of a false Hydra, allowing it to gorge and swell in size. This evolves its powers and changes the nature of its song. What new power does it gain? Well, thank you for the question, River, and I actually have the answer to that. And that answer is, we're going to up the terror. The terror, Terror, terror of the false Hydra. We're going to split its song into multiple frequencies, with each frequency giving it a different ability. One melody erases the memory. Kind of like before, it just erases the memory, ensuring no one can recall those it has devoured. That's its normal power. Another frequency distorts time, causing survivors to experience broken loops, deja vus, or shifts in chronology. Hey, Kirk, there's your time travel. They might suddenly recall battles that never happened, or find wounds they don't remember receiving. And finally, the third shift, the third melodious chaos that it creates, is overrides identity itself. Adventurers who hear it too long risk forgetting who they are, or worse, becoming someone entirely different. If left unchecked, entire regions could become fractured echoes of themselves, plagued by distorted histories and warped realities. Soon, even the gods might question what was real. What do you guys think that a false Hydra's new power should be? If it's engorged itself so much that his power has changed. We're going to the chat. Yazik's excited for the Superman movie. We're finally gonna get a good Superman movie. Who's playing Superman? I have not heard this. Finding wounds you don't remember, isn't that just old age? They're new wounds, Ruby. They are new wounds. They are inflicted wounds, seeping, bleeding. I have never played with a false Hydra, but I like your ideas. Hey, they're good ideas. You can take them. You can run with them. Have fun. Walk into a room, forget why, false Hydra. Yes, it's always the false Hydra. It's always a false Hydra. And if you know it's a false Hydra, you know River asked the question. Seems like they're just keeping it simple. Okay. Okay. Anyway, River, I hope that answers your question. I hope that satisfies your thirst for the false Hydra. Our next question of the evening, because we got 3 more questions. Well, 2 more and a bonus question. Our next question comes from our good friend Jacob. Yo, pirate archaeologist. It's your friendly neighborhood retriever of gold. Question 3. Would consider giving health potion mimic to your players? Would it remain hostile the whole time in the party's inventory or gradually change allegiance to benefit the party later on? I had a lot of time to think about this question, Jacob. And I want to turn it to what I have seen on the Clock app. The health potion itself, the liquid, that's the mimic. The bottle it is in, not a mimic. So the bottle's safe to handle. It's just when you give it to somebody as a health potion, that's when things get hilarious, because that's when people start taking damage. That's what I would say. That's how I would play a health potion mimic. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the bottle should be the mimic, or do you guys think the liquid inside should be the mimic? What's going on here? Liquid as the mimic is genius. I thought so too, Yazik. I thought so too. Maybe you could. I'm getting notifications that in my Outlook. Maybe you could use that in one of your games sometime. Liquid as mimic is genius, but also evil. Yes, I'm a rogue. Am I not? Am I supposed to be good? I mean, chaotic good sometimes. I'm trying to play a neutral evil character in the D&D games that I'm going to be playing up in North Carolina next weekend. So I've got to start somewhere. Mimic eats you from the inside out. The rest of the party doesn't know that you've been replaced by the mimic until it's too late. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Or, Ron, how about this? The mimic eats you from the inside out, bursts through your chest like a freaking chest buster. I'll have the soup. You could have both bottle and liquid be separate mimics. You could. But where's the hilarity in it when you're trying to give somebody who is down to 1 hit point a health potion and you just kill them? Liquid inside should be slime of some sort, not mimic at all. Perhaps juvenile slimes use bottles like hermit crabs do, crawling into people's potion stocks. You know, Kirk, that how about the liquid in the health bottle instead of being a mimic could also be a gelatinous cube, where the bottle is some sort of dimensional bottle that the gelatinous cube can't absorb. That's an idea too. That's an idea. I like it. I like where your head is at, Kirk. But I hope that answers your question, Jacob. Moving on. Our next question comes from our good friend in the chat, Ron. Ron, I love this question. I love this question, and it's only because I like psionics. But Ron writes, "Howdy, rogue bardadians. Rarely used and mentioned, even less, psionics. Way back in the prehistoric days of AD&D and 3.5 and 3.0, we had a magic user who used the psionic blast spell. But I never hear about anyone using or developing psionics now. Anyone out there using psionics? Do you treat it as magic or an entirely different discipline? Happy railroading, the Tin Goat." Oh, if only you knew the can of worms that we have now opened with psionics, Ron. Psionics after 3.5 was nerfed severely because it got so powerful in 3.5. But I did do some research and I did write stuff out. Psionics is a mental discipline that stands apart from the conventional spells most of us remember from AD&D. Back in those early days, a spell like Psionic Blast was almost a wild card, channeling raw psychic energy rather than unusual incantations and arcane rituals. In many ways, psionics marked a shift in thinking. Instead of summoning external forces, it was all about unleashing the power of the mind. It's kind of like the Force, guys. It's kind of like the Force. In current gaming cultures, psionics often walk a fine line. Some systems treat them as a unique branch of power, inherently different from magic, because they rely on the mental focus, discipline, and inner reservoir of energy, whereas magic typically involves learned spells and predetermined incantations. Psionic abilities tend to be more fluid. On the other hand, many modern adaptations and homebrew rule sets blur the boundaries between pure magic and psionics, simply substituting one flavor for the same underlying principle. This hybrid approach can make intriguing narratives. For instance, a character might use spells and mental powers, blending arcane tradition with raw psychic might. Even though psionics might seem rare these days, sometimes relegated to niche supplements or experimental classes in later editions, the concept still fuels the imaginations of many players and DMs. It offers a refreshing alternative to the tried and true magic user. Imagine a character who battles foes not with fireballs or lightning bolts, but with the mental force and sheer determination, challenging both the enemy and established rules of reality. This divergence from tradition opens up creative storytelling, pathways, and turning each psychic surge into a moment of personal triumph and introspection. And since we're on the subject, have you ever thought about how psionic lore might fit into a larger campaign narrative? Imagine ancient civilizations where psionics were not only a tool, but a way of life, influencing politics, philosophy, and even the architecture of entire cities. Such stories offer tremendous potential for rich, multi-layered adventures that set them apart from traditional magic-heavy campaigns. If you ever wanted to play a D&D Star Wars campaign, psionics is where you would go. That's just my thoughts. What you got? What does chat got? I saw the chat going. So let's see. Kirk's not used psionics, but play with somebody who used to. He's a min-maxer and seem to enjoy it. Yeah, they do that. You can use magic to do psionics, but I don't think they're necessarily the same thing. So my first introduction to psionics was when they introduced the mind flayers. Because guess what mind flayers use? Psionics. We had psionics recently, mostly a few bits here and there, but one of our on-hold campaigns was an all-psionic campaign. 3.5 heavy homebrew. 3.5. Psionics is in 3.5 is crazy busted, Chaz. Extremely busted. That's why it was nerfed in... I'm going to mention something here, and don't shoot the rogue. Don't shoot the rogue. The rogue's got new toys. It is only a toy. But that's why psionics was nerfed in 4.0 or in 4E. And they subsequently haven't done much with it in 5E. Not that I could find. So, with that being said, if you really truly want to play a busted game, an OP game, 3.5 psionic rules. Homebrew it. That's it. Another reason not to like 4E. Exactly. My character in an all-psionic campaign was based on Psylocke from X-Men. Yes, Psylocke uses psionics. Maybe one episode Rogue Advice we could go into different psionic characters. Who knows? Kirk confesses he generally views psionics as a different flavor of magic, similar to arcane versus divine. It is a different flavor of magic. You can't sit there and tell me that Force users in Star Wars aren't using psionics. When you're sitting there trying to change somebody's way of thinking or influencing somebody's vision, these aren't the droids you are looking for. That's psionics. That's not... There's no magic there. There's no hidden cards up Obi-Wan's sleeves. No, he was using psionics. Side note, Norstralia by Cordwainer Smith. The main protagonist had defective telepathy that only came out as a psionic blast. Okay. Tell me something in the chat. Did Harry Dresden use psionics? I know he's a magician. I know he's a magic user, but did he use psionics? 3 and 3.5 went too far. Psionicists were pretty much invincible at high levels. Yes, that's why we never let them get to high levels. And friends don't let friends play 4E. Yes. Or Obi-Wan was holding a handful of credits off frame when he said those aren't the droids you were looking for. Yeah, probably. Anyway. Well, Ron, I hope that answered your question. Yes, there are still homebrew games. Yes, there are still 5E games. Yes, there are still games out there that use psionics. But in my opinion, psionics is a whole different discipline than arcane magic or innate magic or divine magic or even pact magic. So, yeah. And psionic players can be very OP if they build their psionic character correctly. So, but thank you for the question. That was a great question. Now, we are at the point where we have a bonus question tonight. Only because I don't think it could have waited. I really was excited when I got this question. One, it's 2 weeks early. because he had already sent me questions for next week or other questions. So, bonus question time from Kirk. And Kirk asks, what methods do you think would stand the best chance of preserving our records of our time for future archaeologists? CDs and hard drives last a bit longer than old floppy disks, but not by much. Carvings in stone aren't very information dense. So what could we use now to give the future some info? With that said, what could we do to help those future archaeologists figure out how to read whatever we've preserved for them? Oh, Kirk. Let me get back to here. I have 2 words for you. Well, 1 word and a number. Voyager 1. Do you know the story of the golden disc? It's not a story, it's a fact. But it's still a story nonetheless. The golden disc was a gold record that they imprinted the sounds of the world at that time. They imprinted mathematical equations. They imprinted a whole lot of information on a record, a 12-inch diameter record. Okay, and they had a companion record with it with the instructions on how to build a device to read this record. It's the Rosetta Stone of aliens trying to understand us. So yes, we could do something like that. What it would be, I have no idea. The Rosetta Stone that we got to translate 3 different languages, to figure out how to translate other languages. We're still missing a portion of it, but we've translated most of what we've got. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Picture art decays and deteriorates in caves. People looting, people defacing all of this stuff. There was a couple of individuals a couple years ago who were caught carving their names into the side of the Great Colosseum in Rome. There's not a lot we can do to protect things once we've buried them or once they've gone the way of the dodo. But utilizing flash drives, solid state drives, all that information's still there. That information could be buried in the sand for 1,000 years. And if they had the technology to plug it in and read what's on there, it'll never go away. It doesn't deteriorate. It's just bits and code. There's no battery in there to go bad. It's implanted onto a chip. And I'm pretty sure by the time we're being studied by future archaeologists, they will have found ways to recreate, or if not recreate, go to the museum and find our cell phones. They already have a museum for the millennial. Not just me, I'm a zennial, but they have a museum for the millennial. This is how gaming consoles started. This is how cell phones started. Makes people who are in their 40s feel old. Makes people who are in their 50s feel even older. Stone is the move. You know, either stone or gold. Yes, I think stone or gold would be the best. It got sent into space. Yes, Puffy Cheeto. It was put on Voyager 1. The golden discs were put onto Voyager 1. A separate set of golden discs were put onto Voyager 2. And they shot them out into space. Now, Voyager 1 currently is in the no man's land outside of our universe, or outside of our galaxy. It's in a or outside of our solar system, something like that. But it's in a weird space. But it's still going, and it's still transmitting stuff to us. It doesn't get here fast, but it's still transmitting stuff to us. Voyager 2, I could look it up, but I'm not going to. Voyager 2 is out there also, but the Alamo has multiple people's names written in Sharpie in it. It's sad how people treat history. It is sad how people treat history. We could encrypt information into DNA in trees. That would last a long time, not forever, but a while. I don't know if future archaeologists would know how to check for that, though. I don't think that would be a good idea, because trees can die in forest fires or get chopped down and made into, I don't know, boats or things. So probably not putting it encrypting it into DNA of trees. Approaching the edge of the solar system, approaching the Oort cloud. Is that Voyager 2 or is that Voyager 1? But yeah, we could absolutely do it in something. Maybe I don't know. Bury it on the moon. Encrypt something. Make a disk out of gold, silver, platinum, something. But yeah, no. But that was an excellent question, and I was excited when you asked me that question. So I figured I'm not going to be here next week. Might as well answer it. However, it is that point of our show where we go through our battle brackets. Now, last week, I before I show you guys the results from the Discord poll and from my simulations, I want to tell you guys I am so proud of you guys. You guys were within 2 points. Now, I know I did not do the poll until late. I had forgotten. My bad. I'm sorry. But it's for the Discord people. But you guys were within 2 points of having it perfect. So perfect that it matched my simulations. I want to show you this. Last week's results between the robots and the hoplites. The robots came out 83% to 17% in the Discord poll, and 85% versus 15% in the simulations. You guys were rocking out with that. That is so amazing. Or my sim is off by just a couple points. It could be, but there was only 6 votes in the poll. So we got to figure out a way to up the vote count in the poll to make it more accurate. But in any case, you guys were awesome in the poll. Concept, the HD20 is actually stored info accessed by rolling it and writing results letter by letter. Okay. Oh, okay. I can see that. But let's go into why. Why were the hoplites beaten by the robots? I know why. Oh. Ancient warriors versus future war machines. Let's discuss who the fighters are. The hoplites, they were the elite Greek soldiers trained for discipline, phalanx formations, melee combat, and endurance. We know this. We had the hoplites first episode out. Or second episode out, right? Then you have robots or mechanized fighters with precision targeting, durability, and advanced computational tactics. Their weapons and gear. The hoplites used the Dory, the Xiphos, the Aspis, and bronze armor. Not so good against robots who have integrated firearms, nanotech blades, durable alloy chassis, and advanced targeting systems. Their physical traits. Hoplites were disciplined and used formations. human endurance, and melee focused. The robots, they had superior speed and reflexes, long range precision, and they don't fear anything and they don't get fatigued. Now, they may run out of energy, they may run out of juice, they may run out of power, but they don't get fatigued like humans would. The strengths of hoplites, their shield formations, their melee combat dominance, their physical endurances, their weaknesses, limited range capabilities, vulnerability to modern weaponry. Obviously, you've got bronze armor and somebody's shooting a laser at you, it's going to go straight through that bronze armor. The robot's strengths, there's precision firepower. They're durable, they're adaptable, long-range superiority. Their weaknesses, possible system vulnerabilities, and a reliance on programming. And if they followed Isaac Asimov's first rule of robotics, a robot should not harm a human being, then yeah. But if they're evil robots like Todd the T-1000 or whoever, then they don't care about hurting humans, fleshies. In an environment of open fields, ancient ruins, and futuristic cities, the robot wins 85 battles. They dominate in ranged tactics and sheer efficiency. Their accuracy, ability to target weak points, and advanced weaponry give them an overwhelming advantage, especially in open terrain or futuristic landscapes. Where with the hoplites, the 15 battles that the hoplites won, they were close combat, tight spaces. Hoplites' shield and spears allow them to outmaneuver individual robots, but if the hoplites exploit the weaknesses in robotic programming, environmental hazards, EMP effects, or hacking, they can force victories. I don't think that they would even have the knowledge to do any of that. So we're going to omit robotic programming, unless somehow they were in a futuristic environment and the hoplites somehow trained for that. Verdict is technology triumphs over tradition in most cases. While the hoplites are formidable warriors in their era, they struggle against futuristic threats designed for precise elimination. Robots can claim overwhelming victory, though disciplined ancient tactics occasionally exploit the robotic weaknesses. So, what do you guys think? Accurate? Robots? You guys called it robots beating the hoplites. I know if I do the poll sooner, I'm supposed to do the poll after I get off of here, and I set the poll up, but last week I just forgot. I forgot until Wednesday. I want to know how the hoplites won ever. Close quarter combat. You got robots in close quarters. Hoplites can hide behind walls, hide in the shadows and stuff. I mean, there's a chance. 15% is a small chance. It's not a gimme. It's still they still had to work for it. My elder brothers are boomers. I'm Gen X, born on the division line. Robots with badly placed off switch. Yeah. I mean, look. Okay. Picture this. The robots of the Trade Federation and the Gungans of Naboo. The Gungans of Naboo, hoplites, robots, the Trade Federation robots. Now, you could argue the fact that the hoplites, being Greek, could have Greek fire and could defeat them that way. But ultimately, it's still a toss-up. Well, it's not really a toss-up. Robots claim overwhelming victory. So, oh yeah, Gungans. Look, yes, I'm telling you there's a chance, Chaz. I'm telling you there's a chance. The Gungans had a chance. It only came down to one person flying a ship. They're flying a spaceship and destroying the lead ship to take out all of the robots. So if you could get the lead ship, all the robots go away, and the hoplites win. Were the robots designed for combat? Maybe there's just a ton of robots. Look, you guys are having way too much fun with this, and I love it. Greek fire might be effective. I forgot about that. You know what else will be effective, Tletna? Alchemist fire will be effective. Alchemist fire, there ain't nothing hotter. There you go, Chaz. I gave Alchemist fire a plug. Anyway, we are, if you haven't figured out, we are next in line. Oh wait, I have to show the bracket. And there's your bracket for what's next. Well, for not what's next, but for the robots moving on. So the robots are going to either fight the winner of elves versus werewolves. But we are not doing elves versus werewolves in 2 weeks, because our next battle up is the ancient eldritch horror versus the deranged gods. In 2 weeks, everybody. 2 weeks. Ancient eldritch horror versus deranged god. And the winner of this battle will probably, if you go back to here, will probably fight Hellman's Mayonnaise. I'm just saying. It'll probably fight Hellman's Mayonnaise, because I don't think any ninja could overcome Hellman's Mayonnaise. So, yes, 2 weeks, Chaz. In 2 weeks. And on Thursday morning, since I'm only about 3 hours south of Jayville, I will be rolling through Jayville on my way up to North Carolina. Maybe I could stop and get a morning coffee. I would just need to know where to go. So message me, Chaz. But we are officially in chat, and I want to show off some things that I got for my good things of the week. I have increased my costume for LARPing up in North Carolina. I got 2 Nerf Pirate flintlock pistols. They are plastic, but they are flintlock pistols. And they work. Yahoo! I also got 2 foamy cutlasses. I am a real pirate. I've got foam swords. Ha ha ha. Anyway, no, I picked up this flintlock pistol. Amazon had them. I'm picking up my darts. Amazon had them. And Amazon only had one. And I found out that Cracker Barrel sells them. So I popped over to a Cracker Barrel and I got a second one. I thought they were cool yokai. That's why I wanted to show them off. I'm going to North Carolina next week, dear. You know this. It's the Norse Forge Gathering. But that's my good thing for the week. My other good thing for the week is my wife had a birthday on the 30th. And get pistols with a side of chicken fried steak. You could. I just went to the store to the old country store. I didn't eat there because I wanted Golden Corral, which is across the street. So, but yeah, no. But that was my good thing for the week. What is everybody else's good thing for the week? I know my wife doesn't like Golden Corral, guys. So yeah, I get Golden Corral whenever I can when she's not around. Chaz's good thing for the week is the sheer generosity of people. Yes, Chaz, I would like to make that announcement. As of today, when I made that video or took that video over and I looked at the GoFundMe, for Chaz's goal of $2,800, he is $1,300 towards his goal already on the GoFundMe. That is so generous, people. So generous. That is great news for Chaz. And it's great news for Chocolate Milk. To get the surgery to get the dental surgery that she needs. I think, Chaz, I think you're gonna get it. I think you're gonna do it. It's a done deal. Boom. Yokai's good thing of the week is her first 5K of the year is tomorrow morning. Wow. 5K. Good job. Hope you do well. I used to run. I'm a little round in the middle now. I don't run anymore, but I used to run. I used to run long distance, cross country, track and field. 2 miles every time I needed to do a PT test. 4 miles, 6 miles every time the brigade commander or battalion commander wanted to go on a light run. But yeah, no, I got round in the middle. I don't run anymore. I don't see Chaz's cat's GoFundMe in the vid description. Is it posted to Discord? It might, because I had to restart everything. It might not be in the description, but I will post it in the Discord. But if it's not in the description, let me know. It should be. But Chaz put it right there. Oh, it is? Awesome. Thank you, Yokai. Everyone watched the Pirate movie, 1993 next Friday for their Pirate Fix. You could do that, Ron. Or if you're Kirk, you could paint your minis. Even though I despise Star Wars, I wish everyone May the 4th be with you this weekend. Yes, it is May the 4th weekend this weekend. It is May the 4th be with you this weekend. And Revenge of the 5th, because Monday is Cinco de Mayo. My good thing is that I got through the week. I got almost no sleep, but I managed at work still. And while I had an odd amount of rude or hard to understand, most of them were nice and clear. Speaking of that, another good thing for the week for me. I am excelling at my job right now. I have been getting nothing but good praise. I have been getting nothing but, hey, you're picking this up faster than we thought you would. So that's a good thing. We're doing a Star Wars theme for our Artificial Intelligence episode this week. Awesome. That's awesome. Everybody go check out Artificial Intelligence. I haven't plugged Artificial Intelligence at all since we started Rogue Device, but go check them out. They're really getting things knocked out and things knocked down, and Crom Peterson is taking a life of his own. So, but yeah, no, it's all good, people. It's all good. Kirk's been enjoying Artificial Intelligence. Let's see. Dog swimming in Lake Blosser, my good time. Yeah. My dog and my kid's dog. It was raining a couple 3 days, and filled up my backyard with water. And also Pope Chance. Chance is my dog. If you guys don't know, I put him in Friends and Familiars in the Discord. But Chance is my dog, and he gets himself into a lot of trouble. But apparently he wants to be the next Pope, because this week he has dug a hole and got the little Ash Wednesday mark on his top of his dome skull, and said, screw electing a Pope. I'm the new Pope. And won't listen to his mother anymore. He's like, popes don't listen to their mothers. And my wife didn't get sick on her birthday. That's good. Oh, you know what? It's because I wasn't there. My wife always gets sick on her birthday, especially when I'm there. Now I think because she didn't get sick on her birthday, now I think it's because of me. I love you, dear. The Pirate movie is the new version of Pirates of Penzance. Yeah, it's the parody movie of Pirates of Penzance, isn't it, Ruby? Crom's awesome. Yeah, is it? Crom's awesome. It's got me using Sono. It's neat. Never done anything musical before. You know, I yeah, I like it. I have been doing a lot of editing and a lot of lyric writing, and yeah. So, with that being said, it is 6 after the hour, everyone, and that means it's time to go. I do want to remind everybody that our email address is roguebardadvice@gmail.com. If you've got a question, if you've got a question, if you want answers, if you want advice on anything, wait, we are not done. I am not done. I am going to take that off because Chaz, I want to say congratulations on the draft, guy. I think you guys, Jacksonville, may have done a good job in the draft. I don't know. I didn't see Jacksonville's draft. But I want to say congratulations anyway. Did you hear that we picked up a 485-pound linebacker, undrafted free agent, matching him up with Vita Vea? Our defensive line is going to be one unstoppable force this year. So, you wanted that shot, dude? I bet you did. We also picked up 2 wide receivers. We also picked up 2 edge rushers and 2 cornerbacks in our draft. I think we're going to be fine for wide receiver injuries this year. And I think one of our wide receivers is going to be taking the place of Chris Godwin very soon. Not to say Chris Godwin isn't still great, but if he's still injury prone, he's going to freaking... We have our next in line. We got the smallest guy in the NFL history and the biggest. You also know we picked up Shiloh Sanders. Oh yeah, Primetime's coming to freaking Tampa. Though Primetime was also fired as Shador's agent because Shador blamed Primetime as the why he dropped. But anyway, I digress. It's bedtime for my wife. It's time to go now. Y'all should dominate your division for sure. We dominated last year. I mean, honestly, if everybody comes out and says that it's Atlanta's year this year, Tampa Bay's got to take them down a peg. He probably dropped because of Dion and because of his attitude. I mean, I'm just saying, not a lot of teams anymore, whether or not you're ranked the 3rd best quarterback prospect in the draft, if you've got a bad attitude towards the teams, or not even a bad attitude, if you've got a cocky attitude, the teams aren't going to want to take you. They don't want the drama, and they've proved this time and time and time again. Freaking Johnny Manziel, great in the league, not great in college, not in the league because of his mindset and because of his attitude. Baker Mayfield, cocky in college, attitude-y in college, attitude-y first couple years in the league. Baker's turned it around though. Baker was given that chance. Johnny Manziel never given that chance. Johnny Manziel also got himself into quite a bit of trouble, more so trouble than what Baker Mayfield did. But Dad told him he was more of a sure thing than he was, and he acted like it. That's exactly it. You hype your kid up, telling him that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He may be the next Deion Sanders. He may be the next Primetime. And kids are going to think it. But anyway, we will continue that discussion in the Discord. I want to remind everybody that...
Hey, everybody.
Nope, not that one. That one. That the email is still roguebardadvice@gmail.com. Kind of still looks like roguebardadvice at gmail.com. Send your questions. Ask away. I'll answer them. Chat will answer them. We'll have fun. I want to remind everybody that I will not be here next Friday. So go pinch your minis. Go watch a pirate movie. go hang out in the Discord. I will have my phone. I will be on the Discord. I just won't be here. So, with that being said, we will be here in 2 weeks. Same rogue channel, same roguish charm. I am your host, Pirate, the Pirate Archaeologist, the Rogue Thief Pirate Archaeologist, or Chris, whichever you want to call me. And I want to say, have a piratey day.